speaking to more than 100 Tanzanians, and they took a lot of risks to speak to me because the government in Tanzania has made it illegal to share any of the reports of what happened, pictures, video of people getting shot by police. And so we wanted to put some of CNN's resources in understanding what happened here, and we did conclude in our reporting and this forensic investigation that yes, Tanzanian police did kill protesters, many of whom were unarmed, some of them were running away, and they didn't pose any threats to the police. And in the time since we released that documentary, it's been 2 days, nobody has come up to say a single thing we said that in that was a lie, because we spent a lot of time audio forensic analysis, satellite imagery to find signs of mass graves, and we're very proud of that work.
Let's put some human texture to it. And I want to go to Arusha. And your output shows this video footage of a woman who was running away with her back to the police. And the investigation shows very clearly that she was shot. She was 3 months pregnant at the time, a breadwinner for her family. That was tear-jerking, to say the least. And you said that's just the tip of the iceberg, but you also seem to have discovered mass graves, at least through forensics analysis. Talk to me about that.
We wanted to focus on this story in Arusha because it highlights what happened in many other parts of Tanzania. We only barely scratched the surface. And that woman, we know her name, we know her family. They were too scared to speak on camera, even though they've lost greatly. And that speaks to the situation and the fear across Tanzania. And yes, we did find signs of mass graves in one location north of Dar es Salaam, in an area called Kondo Cemetery. We have had so many other tips. We did not report anything that we cannot prove, and it's still work that continues. We will do some of it, and lots of other media need to do it, so that whatever happened in the days, in that week when the internet was shut down and the media gagged, the world needs to know.
So I saw the Larry Mado issue and how people have been murdered. If what we saw is true, all those bodies, I pray that the ICC should rise. What if what we saw, I cried yesterday in the night when I saw it. Now, to someone else they can see and say, now let me show you how you know your spirit is not disturbed. Is the answer you give after. You say, you need propaganda. How do you say something of that nature is propaganda? When bodies, then if it's not true, I challenge Tanzanian government to sue CNN. Sue CNN. Yeah. If it's not true, sue CNN. Sue them. Because they have defamed your name, right? Defamation is a problem. Sue them. I challenge you, Suluhu. I challenge you to sue CNN. I challenge you. You know, for you, your spirit is not stirred up. So you think I speak like you. Me, when I see injustice, my spirit becomes agitated. Why should people die because I need to go to power? Why should people die? If people don't want you, rest in peace. Why do you need to force yourself on people? If you have done the right work, let the people be the judge, for God's sake.
Yes, sir. That's nice.
Me sina time ya kukwambia, you know, ever since I came to power, I have built 4 roads. Can't you see the roads? You will know them by their fruit. If truly I've done the work, my fruits will speak for me. I don't need to be a politician and every time I'm shouting about what I've done. What I've done will talk. That if true to it, that's what happened in Tanzania. What a shame to Africa. And I want the Kenyan government not to be involved. I saw Mudavadi, our minister, speaking about it. He was asked, why did you congratulate? You can see the way he's mumbling it is what. He doesn't even know what he's saying. I want to congratulate you for successfully. There was no success in that win. Which government, even Trump, has he ever gotten 98%? Stick to the gospel. Mambo ya siasa wacha. And then they think they are so deep. Do you even see the size of the mouth when they are speaking? They think they have gathered so much wisdom to speak like that. Wait until you are called for your mother's body. You wait. You wait. Now we are talking stupidly. Wait until 20. Now, I already saw 2027. I'm not talking about in the spirit. Just look at the minor, what do you call that? Is that by election? Natembea was almost killed. Now, whether it is him setting up his goons, I said he was almost killed. Whether it is his people or it was other people. You can't be blaming government or what. You people know what you are doing. Stop trying to use sympathy. Some of you set things up and shoot yourself. One day the guy will forget and shoot you in the head. Because many people just like sympathy. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying whether it is it or not. Nyinyi munakulananga, nyinyi ndio munajua. You know, let me tell you Kenyans, this game that these people play, don't enter. In the night they talk, they share deals, they share contacts. Ni nyinyi tu tunaachangwa hapa kama mang'ombe. Kukamuliwa tu maziwa. We're just left here like cows. Our work is just to give vote. Then they wait for you for 5 years for the other. Do you know when you are milking a cow? And then when the milk is finished, the udder is loose. But in the morning when you come again, the udder is full. So they wait for 5 years for udder to be full. Then we are milked again. Not this time. We are not willing to die for anyone. We are willing to live for God and for generations. No more again. Those of you playing tribal cards, I challenge Tanzania, if it is not true, sue. Kenya will present Madowo. Kenya, so we will present him. Yeah, Kenya is willing to present Larry. Sue him if it's not true. But if it is true, we will shout. Forget those of you Tanzanians. I saw a sheikh in Tanzania saying, ati sijui ni wa Kristo analeta. Tutaleta. Oh, and then someone today in the morning was saying, why is Kenya so involved? What is it you have? We are involved. We are involved in injustice. What do we want in your nation? We want good leadership for people. Do you have to be a Kenyan for you to... Yani, you are telling me... Okay, let me ask you a question. But you know the question I want to ask you. If your spirit is disturbed, call men of God. If Larry did the wrong thing, but I can tell you, why did it God? You, Joseph, I even hear how you speak in tongues. Have you ever heard Larry speak in tongues like that? After Menson Siladi, God did not give you an opportunity to speak about Tanzania. There is nothing much you can do. So God goes to Larry. But there are things God will give you an opportunity and Larry cannot do anything. Do you understand how it works? What it means that God is in love with his will more than his people. And anyone that will fulfill it will be protected by him. God loves his will. His will. He says, I found a man after my heart. He did not find a man after a man. The issue is not the man. The issue is the heart of God. He wants God's will done. And it is such a shame. All those leaders are congratulated what happened in Tanzania. I know there is a political angle to it. But let me tell you, when it comes to life and death, put tribes aside, put politics aside. These are people. Someone is saying, not many people died, is 20. Even one person. Even one person. Did you not check in the Bible that heaven, angels rejoice over one person? If one person can make all of heaven rejoice, why should one death? Larry is lying. It is not 2,000 people, it is 20. So you are saying 20 is little. You are saying 20 is little. That's what you are saying. And how comes among those 20, there is no relative of these people? A lady was shot at the back, 3 months pregnant. Did you see that? 3 months. You saw the bullet. You know, I saw the bullet enter that lady. 3 months. So you have not just killed her. You have killed a generation. In the police task force, there is something called, if you have ever had a gun, when you are given a gun, there is something called de-escalation. The purpose of a gun is to protect before kill. The last thing you do with a gun is to kill. But the original intent of a gun is to protect. What made the police shoot this way? The goal is to scare, not to tear. Because that bullet found that woman here. That means the shot was aimed at people. and it was a live bullet. You fool. You kill for leaders. When they leave office, where will you be? You destroy 50 years. 5 years. You fool. That's why I'm putting pressure on our president. And many of you cannot understand the difference between truth and hate. I don't hate him. I expect better from him. He is the president of the EAC, right? East Africa Community. Summon these people. You have the power. And then the matter will just be spoken, politicized, and everything will be left. Wa Kenya, tuacheni. Bloggers of government. There is no Tanzania speaking like that. And if you are a useless Tanzanian. Go to Mexico. Don't play when people's lives are. Forget parties when it's about people's lives. Forget parties, forget religions. My spirit is stirred up. And guess what? I did not call magicians. I have men around me you don't know. Forget you church people. There are men I can't say publicly. Men that advise me. I can't say. Before you see me go for something, you know there is heavy advice around me.
Welcome back, family, and everyone who is watching this from Africa and across the world, because you know this is a season that everyone is interested to know all that is happening in the country of Tanzania and everything that is happening across Africa and how people are reacting about this, how people are responding. Because after this incident of election, after that period, you know, everything was blocked. The internet was no longer in the country of Tanzania, so the people were so worried. As this pastor has tried to address this issue, you know, it is true that when God's time comes, you know, you can no longer hide anything. You can't hide the truth, because the same God will want the people to know your evils, and He will find any way on how to expose you. That's why today you see, besides Larry being a popular or having that much influence, it has not been easy for him to come up with this documentary. It has not been easy, because to get these clips and all these footages that he has used to cover up all this documentary, it has not been that easy task, because don't forget that everyone in the country of Tanzania was limited not to post anything. Nobody was allowed to expose anything that happened during that period of election. So it has been a hard and tough time to him, so that for him to be able to get all these videos and get that access to make this video so that the world can come to know all that happened in that country, it has not been that easy. But I wonder, yesterday I did a video, and in my comment section I saw some of the Tanzanians coming out and trying to say that we are so concerned about their issues. We shouldn't, because we have to deal with our own countries. We have our own problems. I don't decline that. It is true. We have our own problems. But again, do you want to let me be realistic about this? We can't compare the country of Kenya with the country of Tanzania. The country of Tanzania and Uganda are in the same class, because at this time, we as Kenyans, we are coming out to speak about this. We are coming out to expose all these evils. Not because we are so proud of it, not because we love it, but we are coming to speak about it because we condemn it, because we cannot sit down and watch all these evils happening. We can no longer sit down and see our brothers and sisters suffering and going through hardship and through tough time when we are sitting as neighbors watching, because we are having some Kenyans, and the country of Tanzania is a large country. It is not only being lived by Tanzanians. I am sure that this country has Nigerians, has Ghanaians, has Kenyans, has Ugandans. So whatever happened in that country is not only going to affect the people of Tanzania, it's not only for the Tanzanian people, but I believe that if these killings and if these abductions continue to happen and we just sit down and watch over, we are going to lose even our relatives who live in that country. And when we just sit down and watch over everything, dictatorship, murders, abduction, and every these bad things happen in this country, and we just sit down and watch over, this is like a disease. It is today happening in the country of Tanzania. Today, we will sit silence, and our presidents will sit and watch how their fellow president is acting, and they will act the same. So we have to condemn this. We have to stop this, because when we stop this, it means that we are stopping all this across Africa. No any African leader will come out to do the same evils, because he or she will know that if I do this, the people will come out. The people will be against me. So we are trying to stop a virus that can spread across Africa and destroy the entire African continent. So back to this pastor, I appreciate the speech and how you have tried to address this. I appreciate, because this is like a congratulation. When you go to the country of Tanzania today, people have just decided, and everyone in the country of Tanzania are praising the name of Larry Madowo. Everyone today is hyping the name of Larry Madowo because he has tried to cover the truth across to the world. They want a help. Today, it's true that the people from Tanzanians need help, and this help will not just come outside, will not just come from nowhere. But when the people know the truth, when the world be exposed to everything that happened in that country, the government will be at least tensed. They will be trembled. They will now have limit to do some things. Because at this time, Larry Madowo has been able to expose even the secret grave sites where the people were buried in massive graves. Where today, today up to this date, up to this time, there are some people who are still missing, and the families are still looking to their families, to their loved ones. So this was not just an incident, just like others. This was a genocide. This was an incident that we have never experienced in East African countries. We have seen these things happen in the country of Kenya, but we never reached that point of people being killed and buried in a massive graves secretly by the people from the government. So this was more than an evil. So everyone who have come out to expose this truth, to speak about the incidents, people like Pielo Lumumba and many other people, the professors, all these people, Professor Jakoya, and all those people who have come out to address the issues that are affecting today the country of Tanzania, because this country today has no peace, has no innocence that has been there many years. These people has already destroyed their innocence. And that today this woman has already destroyed the peace in this country, that it will take some years for it to regain its peace. At this time, the citizens are fighting on how to make government introduce the new constitution that will govern and will guide everyone. Because at this time, the constitution that is being used in that country is the colonial constitution that still guides and gives president enough power that no one can come and challenge the president. No one is able to go and even challenge the victory of the president-elect. So at this time, in Africa, any African country, we are not in the point of living that kind of life, because we have lived and we believe that we are mature enough to govern ourselves. We believe that Africa today is mature enough to govern itself. Even when we are still using this democracy, we have the capability of selecting which way do we want to live. So we cannot today continue living under the dictatorship, under the influence, under the manipulation of either our own leaders or the foreign influence. At this time, Africa is mature enough to prove itself, and Africans are ready to make sure that they are ready to fight for their freedom, their independence, and we are not ready to allow any politician or any leader to come and manipulate their leader, dictate, and unalive the people instead of governing them and protect them. So I appreciate everyone who came out and addressed the issues that are affecting the country of Tanzania today, because When we do this, it means that we are together, we are united. Because the Tanzanian problem today is the same as Kenyan problem. It's the same as the Nigerian problem. Because if we sit down as Kenyans or Nigerians or South Africans and watch people suffering in the country of Tanzania, people suffering in the country of Uganda, people suffering in the country of Nigeria, and we don't come to speak something or we don't address anything, it means that maybe we are okay of all that is happening. We can't be okay. We've came out before Tanzania. We saw all that happened in the country of Nigeria. Thousands of Christians being slaughtered, being killed by terrorists who are so-called the Al-Qaeda, the Muslim terrorists. We came out to address this. So it means that this time we as Africans, it is our responsibility to fight for our own problems, because our leaders are not concerned at all. They are not concerned. They are not being paid. They're not even, they don't care about all that is happening in these countries. They don't care. As long as they're on the power, as long as they have all they need, they're okay with that. We are dying. We are suffering. And it is the time now we as the Africans, we stand firm and say that we are not going to allow this to happen again. This is the greatest time. This is the best time, the prophesied time, the awaited time for each and every black person, wherever you are, to stand up, raise our voice, and protect ourselves, fight for our dignity, our freedom, our independence, and make sure that all is coming to happen, because we need it. We need freedom. We need liberation. And we cannot get liberation by sitting down and allowing our upper politicians destroying our lives, destroying our countries, killing our people, and we don't say something. So for everyone who has joined this conversation, I appreciate your support for being here each and every time. I appreciate you because you are doing great. This new, this the true, the black history. We are here to uncover the truth and the secret that have been hidden, not to the from the world, to know the truth. Thank you for being here each and every time. I appreciate your support. Consider subscribing, sharing, leave a comment, like, for you to be able to come back at the next episode, because we are still doing the great and spreading positivity across Africa. May you be blessed wherever you're watching from. I love you and appreciate your support, and peace be with you.